Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and EKN Nation. Welcome to a new edition of our EKN Tent Talk. My name is Rob Howden, of course, David Cole handling the production. And today we're at the Challenge of the Americas here in Sonoma, California. Final rounds of the Challenge Series, and we're with Ron White Racing. This is I keep saying TED Talk, right? So it's Tent Talk.
Tent Talk.
Tent Talk. We call it Tent Talk. We call it Tent Talk. Ron White Racing. For those of you who have been in the sport for 5, 10, 20 years, you know Ron's name, former Super Nationals winner back, I think, 2002, Ron?
Yeah, it'd be about 2002. It's been 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
So 20 years and still running the senior class. So it's enjoyable.
That's one of the things. So this is obviously a major team here in Northern California. Throughout California, Ron focuses a lot here in Northern California. Sonoma, the races here, the Challenge of the Americas, and other programs. One of the CRG dealers, the primary CRG dealer probably, and race team here in the U.S. But again, good time to kind of spend some time here with Ron. I've known you for many, many years. Let's talk a little bit about that first. Let's talk about you 20 years or more. When did you, is it 30 years in karting for you?
Oh, I started karting about 4 or 5 years old, dirt racing, right?
Wow, right.
Backwoods pretty much,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I've been doing it I'm 44 now, so 39 to 40 years
Wow.
in a go-kart.
That's amazing. That
So-
is absolutely amazing. You've driven for a lot of different teams. I know that for sure. Let's go back and talk about those early days. You ran for Tom Kutcher's team. You ran for his extreme karting, I think it was called
Karting,
that
yeah.
day.
Extreme.
Yeah, I ran with
yeah.
Greg Bell in 2000 to 2001 era.
Yep.
And then basically got an opportunity. Actually, Tom Kuchar that has a SCUSA, I ended up running with him before he ever ended up buying SCUSA.
That's right.
So we had some good times and got to hang out with Tom quite a bit, which was always fun. But yeah, we started running the CRG, showed up in the back of a black pickup truck that usually never made it there.
I remember that one. Yeah. That was like the very first years of the Superkart USA Pro Moto Tour. I remember you driving all the way from California, and I think this was the black, or was that the blue truck?
Black.
Was it black?
Was black. Oh,
Drove it all the way from California to essentially Barrie, Ontario, which is near Toronto. 40-something hours to get there. Smoked everybody, won the money, and then drove back and blew the transmission out or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
We probably put a transmission in on the side of the road, my brother and I. We drove straight through, 40-something hours, never stopped. We just ate, filled it up, and kept on going.
Old
On
school.
the way back took a lot longer, though. It didn't quite go that quick.
Right. Let's talk about what you're doing now. Let's move into kind of that. When was it that you transitioned from being Ron White, the racer, driving for a bunch of different teams, whatever it may be, and saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to take this seriously. I'm going to start my own race team, Ron White Racing, and we're going to do driver development. We're going to do race team. We're going to do Rive and Drives. When did this all come together?
I mean, pretty much it was like I did the car stuff in more 06, 07, and I got to a point where I'm like, I just can't afford to do it, So then about 2009, it'd be me and my daughter going to the go-kart track testing, and she would go with me. We'd hit Jelly Belly on the way, and I wanted to spend a lot of time with her. So then about 2010 and then 11, I started getting more and more serious into it, and I'm like, it would be a good business to be involved in. I love being around my family. I got to hang out with Kevin Woods a lot, Patrick O'Neill. The guy's been with me many, many years. So my daughter got into racing when she was 10, and it was like the best thing ever.
Wow.
So we got to go to the track, got to go test, a couple good fun arguments,
Yeah.
It was good times. So she did that for about 8 years until she turned 18. So I want to make my business around a little bit of my family, and I love the competition. I love going to the track, and it's like we just kept trying to grow it, and we have really good customers, really good people, and I love the CRG product.
And let's talk about I was going to go. You go. I was going with CRG.
I was going to
next.
say the foundation was driver coaching, wasn't it? Where a lot of people were coming to you, hey, Ron, I need some pointers. Was it more the driver coaching that you were doing, or was it more just support at the racetrack?
It was definitely a lot of the driver coaching, and the thing is, though, is I could watch a go-kart go around the track and be like, well, let's make a change on the go-kart, and then make a change, and it would usually be better. And then basically kind of progress from there,
Right.
Showed up at a 16-foot box fan and then wore that thing out. I bought that in 05, and we wore that thing to the ground. So
that was when you were on Top Kart still.
Yeah.
Because I remember I did the test here. Me and Tim Blaney did the test here with you in the Top Kart shifter kart. So that was
wow.
I remember the box.
Yeah.
I remember the box.
Let's establish your connection to CRG as well. When you won that Super Nationals race win, you were on the CRG product at that point, right? Then you actually, and we haven't kind of touched on this yet. We talked a lot about Gary Carlton, what he did in Europe. You actually went to Europe as well. You're
I actually won.
You're
compared to Gary.
KZ2 race winner, right, for CRG. That was big, yeah.
So back in the day, I started running CRG in 2002. And once we figured out the engine stuff, Rainey and I worked together, my brother, and we had some issues at the start. Once he figured this stuff out, I think we won a year and a half, almost 2 straight.
Yeah, you guys won a lot of
races. My
races.
brother's the only one who beat me in the thing. And then we ended up, I got to go to Europe. We were running the KZ in the U.S. with the moto. So when I went to go to Europe for CRG, like John Carlo took care of me really well. It was like one of the best sponsored rides I've ever had. No. And so I have a lot of respect and a lot of like great foundation for him and his family. So then I ended up racing over there. I got a second the first race. I won the second race. We led the championship, and we had a couple motor failures. So we ended up still finishing like 6th, but I DNF'd in like a couple of the races because of that. So
that's just amazing, though, to be able to go over there. I remember having that in the magazine, Shifter Card Illustrated, that you had gone over and run there. I think, did you win at Sarno?
I won at Sarno, but the thing is, me and you were talking before that, and you tell me, you're like, Ron, just go there for the experience. Rob, I'm going to win.
I'm going to win.
I'm like, no, I'm going to win.
I like that.
And I won, and you're like,
yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. I can understand that. All right, so you get the team going. One of the things about you is you said you've been with CRG. David mentioned you did Top Kart for a while, but you've had this connection with CRG. And over the last couple of years, some of the teams have maybe moved to a different brand. Yeah. You stuck with it. And obviously the new equipment, we talked to this right out of the gate when we were at Tucson to start the challenge. You guys are super happy with the 2022 material.
Well, we were very happy with it. And the thing is, I only got 4 practices before we actually hit like qualifying.
Wow.
So it was kind of like, you're kind of guessing through the heat races. We worked really hard. The second race got a little bit better. And we just got to keep stepping our program up. So then we came up here and tested a little bit, and we learned a little bit really quick between like you and myself, the guys over in Italy. So we learned a little bit. So like this week, this stuff's definitely much better.
What are your thoughts on the team itself and how you're developing your organization right now? I know you don't run a ton of races. You run local stuff here. You run the challenge. You guys do a lot of track days, though, where you're really working on driver development with the younger guys, too, right?
I actually do a lot of arrive and drive stuff so I can get new people into karting to try and grow our local series. And then I also do like the race team, which has been pretty good from doing all of that. Yeah. It's kept it bigger. And for me, I used to travel all the time, and I don't really want to travel as much.
Yeah, I understand.
Like, I'd rather stay on the West Coast, do more track days, do more of the races out here, support, the San Zero series, and then all the challenge stuff on the West Coast. And like I told CRG, I'm like, I just want to do more of the West Coast, do more of the distribution of that, and just focus on the CRG product. The good thing is I can get changes made to the go-kart, and we constantly learn, and we have a great connection. When something's not right, they know it because I contact.
So you have that connection, obviously. Like you said, when you race at the factory, you work with you and Jeffrey very closely. So you guys can really have a lot of input in terms of chassis design, or what you guys need over here.
Oh, for sure. We went through like the KT4 like a couple of years ago with Ryan, myself, and we did a lot of testing, and that thing got really good on the KT4. And they wanted to try something new, which I ran Vegas this year. I got like a 4th. And so I ran like a 30 mil car. Ryan Martin ran a different chassis, and then we basically went off of Aiden, and then we sat down, talked about it afterwards, and made a chassis design change for this year, which is a KT5.
Wow, there you go. Awesome. Let's talk about some of your drivers that you have this weekend. Obviously, we're going to see Kevin Woods is in the battle for the Master Shifter. But, dude, you're still running against the kids. Like, you're 43 years old. You say you're 44 years old. You're still running, and you're still running against the kids in the senior class. What's that all about?
Well, I mean, it's like I want to race the best people, and I want to win. Yeah. So, I mean, the 4th session we're like first quickest.
Yep.
Last session today, we're off by like a half a tenth to Hunter. Should have stayed out a lap for too long or laid it to him. But we have enough racing to go this weekend. Probably dry Saturday, and I love driving in the rain on Sunday.
Well, that's good. That's good. Now, what about Ryan Martin, too? He's been with you for a while. We've seen him step it up over the last couple of years. Man, he came out of the gate strong this year.
Ryan Martin's progressed huge. The guy has the hardest work ethic. He's been starting to run some stock car stuff for the oval and the cars. And the kid I've never seen, he works for my shop. He is the support of my company that I always needed. But the kid's talent is gotten really huge, and I bust his balls quite a bit. That kid's gotten really good at driving. Yeah. Kevin Woods, he ran senior last week, and he was showing the kids what's up. He's like 50, so he was on it.
All right, so we've got Kevin waiting in the wings. We're going to bring Kevin in. We're going to bring Ryan Martin as well. You got
one more question. Go. You also have the four-cycle stuff that the CRG's really been working on. I've driven it the last 3 years. Is that something that you're pushing a little bit more in the NorCal sector?
For me in the NorCal, the FS4, the CRG chassis has been really good. I don't have a lot where I'm at on my track. I'm going to start going over like Prairie City because they have more of the 4-cycle and start doing more of that. They've done a ton of development on it with, trying to think of the guy's name, but Ewan and them did a lot of development more than I did on the 4-cycle.
Okay.
So I'll probably get more involved in that. The 2-cycle, they changed a lot, which is pretty good for the 100cc stuff. So that thing's a lot better than it's been. The shifter is usually kind of like the bread and butter.
Yeah. Indeed.
But I'm very happy with the shifter right now. The 100's really good. And the 4-cycle, we're going to do more with it.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of success with the Cadet on the East Coast.
Indeed.
The Black Mirror is doing really well. So again, like we said, you're working on getting numbers. So you got all the different models available from all the different ages to work with.
For sure. And it's like, it kind of comes in cycles. I get a lot of kids in mini, and then they move up, and then I have less mini, more juniors, and so on. So I need to kind of replenish that.
Yeah. It's a sport. It's always different numbers every year.
It's exactly that. Yeah, no
it's
doubt.
Enjoyable.
All right, let's move to a quick break here. We'll bring in Kevin Woods, get a chance to talk to Kevin. So let's do that right now. Let's a quick little shout out here for CRG. CRG is one of those iconic brands in karting, and we're primed and ready for the 2022 season with new material and a never-ending focus on winning. CRG Nordam is the North American distributor for all CRG products. Based outside of Houston, Texas, CRG Nordam supports CRG dealers across the continent, reaching every corner of North America. The CRG KT5 is our new chassis for tag and shifter racing, and it has been designed specifically for the U.S. market. The KT5 features 30 mil construction with a 32 millimeter front loop to increase front grip. CRG's new VEN 13 brake system is cutting-edge technology with a master cylinder that allows for pressure regulation within the system. Drivers can customize brake pressure to their own requirements to improve feel and to avoid brake lockup. The kart is finished with the new KG 507-508 bodywork that has refined aerodynamics and reduced weight. For cadet drivers, the 2022 CRG Black Mirror is already logging positive results to start the new season. The chassis will be making big waves in 2022. Longtime CRG drivers will be happy to know that the CRG Road Rebel, the standard in quality and performance, is still available. With 4-cycle racing enjoying consistent growth in North America, CRG's FS4 chassis is the ideal choice for racers in Briggs and Stratton competition. From pure racing to karting entertainment, many tracks, both indoor and outdoor, have made the switch to the CRG Centurion rental kart line. 5 different models, both gas-powered and electric engines, can fit into any track's needs for a new rental kart fleet. CRG Nordam has the full inventory of rental karts available for new and existing facilities. For more information on the CRG product line, head to www.kartcrg.com. And to inquire about a North American dealer near you, please email us at info@kartcrg-nordam.com. That's a lot of work.
That was a full commercial. I thought you were going to do a read.
I did the full commercial. I dropped it out there. That's good. Kevin Woods joining us here right now. Again, if you're up in this neck of the woods, if you're a California master shifter driver, you know Kevin because you've probably been following him around for the last couple of years. Kevin, thanks for joining us, number one, and great. And it's your home track for the finale. That's a little bit of an advantage, maybe.
A little bit. Yeah, every year we end up here, and it's been an advantage. But yeah, it's great to be on the show. I always watch you guys. I can't believe I'm on.
That's cool. I love it.
It's amazing. Thanks.
Let's talk about you and how you got into the sport. We don't know a lot about you. We know what you've done over the last couple of years. How did you get into karting, and when did it happen for you?
Karting I got into after cars, so I kind of went back.
Okay, yeah.
I should have done it the other way around. But yeah, I started racing cars in 2008.
Okay.
And I did Pro Formula Mazda,
Yep.
and that's how I met Ron. He was my coach.
Okay, all right.
And then I met Patrick O'Neill,
Mhm.
Mike Wash, a lot of guys. Then the market crashed.
All right.
2008.
Yeah.
So
The money wasn't there.
money wasn't there. So the car wasn't there either.
Okay.
So
Yep.
it wasn't until 2012 that I bought another race car.
Oh, wow. All right.
Porsche GT3 Cup.
Yep.
And I raced that for a full season, won the championship.
Wow. Okay.
And then I was at the track here doing the Sim Raceway class. And I joined the Sim Raceway series. And I was doing that on Saturdays, and I saw Ron. I was like, hey, Ron,
I
what
know
are you
this
doing
guy.
here? Because I didn't know Ron's background, believe it or not.
Seriously.
Okay.
Wow.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So
You just thought he was some guy
I thought
coaching
some guy
everybody.
that could coach,
yeah.
you know,
So
whatever.
funny.
And then I saw him. He's like, yeah, I got a kart team. So he's like, yeah, I'll put you in a kart, like a real kart.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, I was hooked after that.
Yeah, you're in.
Yeah, I've been racing since 2013, started shifter in 2015.
Wow, that's awesome. And obviously coming to the point where you're one of the top master shifter drivers in the country, what does it mean to win the championship like this here in the Challenge of the Americas?
It's been amazing. I mean, I did a lot of car racing between 2013 and 2019. So my kart racing was off and on.
Okay.
I didn't do full seasons, really.
Yep.
But once I stopped racing cars, 2019, I went full shifter.
That's awesome.
And it's been really good. I mean, thanks to Ron, the whole team,
Yeah.
everybody. it's been amazing.
Was there a big learning curve for you to go from a car to karts?
Huge. Yes.
What were kind of the main things?
Moving up, right, Dave?
Yeah.
Moving up from
It's a
cars
move
to
up.
karts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was-
Especially. Oh, sorry, I didn't.
Yeah,
interrupt,
no, I was gonna say, what was the main thing that you kind of had to adjust driving wise?
Well, with the open wheel car, I think it would have been a little easier, but I only did one season.
Okay.
Going to a GT3 Cup car, the car is pretty slow. It
Yeah.
doesn't react very quickly. And the kart was, really fast reacting. And then the racing is really quick, passing and everything. So I just had to get used to the speed of the kart, the handling and everything. Okay. And then the G's, I got tired.
Yeah.
So I had to work
real.
on that.
That's the reality of it, isn't it? We all get tired of this shit.
Oh yeah,
It's crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
So you got Ron White as your initial coach, and now you said you have him now as a coach here. How much time does he spend coaching you right now? Is there a lot of coaching still, or is he kind of fine tuning what you do?
Fine tuning at this point. But when I first started in 2015, a lot of coaching, a lot of lead follow, a lot of data. I mean, he's really good at that. So it's been a huge help.
Can you look back and see how far you've come from those times, from the way you drove a kart now, what you're able to do now?
It's kind of scary.
Isn't it?
I mean, to be honest with you, yeah. Like I'll watch old video and go, really?
What
are you doing?
That's so funny.
But I also learned a lot from Patrick O'Neill.
Okay.
Because when I came in, he had been karting for a couple of years.
And he's a badass up here.
He was beating me pretty bad.
Was he?
Well, he almost kind of set the helped the bar here in NorCal. Yeah. He was like kind of the guy.
He really did. You're right.
Yeah. Now it's kind of, you kind of surpassed him a little bit. I mean, obviously with championships, it helps.
Yeah.
I drive more than he does at this point.
Yeah. He does car racing still, doesn't he? Does he do some car racing?
Yeah, he still pops in the car and he keeps everybody.
All right.
Yeah.
So you got him on the track time though.
Sometimes.
Give me your thoughts on working with this team. Obviously, we've known Ron for many years. I call him the tornado because he's a different guy, right? He's got a lot of energy, a lot of nervous energy. He's always on the throttle. What's it like working with him in this team?
For me, it's been great. I mean, I haven't worked with any other teams, but I've been here for so long. There's no reason to leave.
It works.
It's an amazing team.
You're winning championships.
First of all, Ron is a true pro.
Yeah.
Right. Data, coaching, driving, everything. He knows all about the karts. So there's nothing you can't find out from him. It's amazing what he knows.
I hear you saying, yeah.
And then the teammates, everyone's great. We all work together. Me and Patrick have been racing together for so long, making each other faster and faster and faster. Then we get new Masters drivers that come in, and they learn from us, and we learn from them. The seniors come in, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Martin, super quick out of the gate, learning from him. So, it's really good.
So we look at your schedule here. You're winning championships here. You run here in Northern California. Is there a race down there? Like, have you ever thought about trying to run maybe the SCUSA Pro Tour, or is the Super Nats? Is that something you look at and say that, or the Rock Vegas race and say that's what I want to win? I want one of those.
Yeah, I'd like to run Rock Vegas. I ran senior last year, which was so much fun. When I race senior, because I'm a small guy.
Yeah.
So when I take off the weight, the cart is
love it.
amazing. It's like a rocket ship.
I can't believe how good it is.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing.
It'll actually turn.
Yeah, it's funny.
And all the senior guys are really fun to race with.
Okay,
and there's always someone to race with, but I would like to win Rock. So I think I'll run Masters this year.
Good stuff.
Super Nats with KZ, that's definitely on my bucket
You
list.
that,
And then I'd like to do the Florida races.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And then I guess there's a KZ Masters now.
There is a KZ Masters.
Really
the Worlds.
Yeah, the Worlds.
Yeah.
David actually dropped your name out really quickly when we talked about that.
I put your name out there. I put Jordan Musser, Ryan Kinnear.
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
Yeah.
I think you guys are among the top three. I mean, there's a bunch of other names that we could go through, but I mean, you obviously have the connection with CRG. You and Jeffrey, I'm sure they have plenty of. They'll have a spot for somebody if you need to.
That'd be
I mean,
pretty cool.
Ron's old enough too; he could do it too.
He actually could.
So you guys could actually go as teammates.
That's true.
That's
true.
That'd be all right.
That would be that. No, that's. I've already heard they're already halfway sold out.
Wow.
So they've got 17 drivers already registered for that program.
So obviously you're going for the championship this weekend for rounds 5 and 6 of the challenge. What else is the focus for this year?
Well, I'm going to continue running senior for the Sanzaro series because that's just so much fun, and it's really good practice. And then I'll probably do the California Rock Championship, and then Vegas, and maybe the World Championship.
There it is.
Super Nats,
All
whatever I can.
All right,
I like it.
Kevin Woods, folks, again, one of the top Masters drivers in the country right now. Great to have him here on the show and running with Ron White Racing. We're going to try to see if we can't find Ryan Martin. We'll be right back. There's a new hot button name in American safety equipment, Stilo USA. Every product with Stilo is focused on safety, comfort, and function. Stilo USA is happy to provide you with the proper safety apparel to keep you protected on the track, and their karting lineup is second to none. The ST5 KRT karting helmet is available for $599. Manufactured using a lightweight and extremely strong composite material, the KRT provides an excellent fit and comfort level due to its dual density interior foam lining, and it's equipped with a symmetrical visor that offers excellent vision and an effortless central visor locking system. The ST5 CMR standard was developed jointly by the FIA Institute and Snell Memorial Foundation to ensure safer and lighter weight helmets for the younger karters. Drivers rave about the superior comfort levels, lightweight construction, and the unparalleled field of vision. The perfect youth helmet is available for $549. Stilo didn't stop with their helmets either. The newly developed Carbon Curva Rib Protector is unlike any on the market, with its form-fitting solution to offer superior protection. Head to StiloHelmets.com to review these and many more products to keep you safe on the track. Stilo. Any competition, one helmet. Motor mounts are critical to producing 100% of the power your engine has to get you on the podium each and every time. Odenthal Racing Products provide the best motor mounts in the karting market today. Odenthal Racing Products is a family-owned and operated business with decades of karting experience, providing products with unmatched quality and value for the karting market. Our newest product is the Pro Series mount for two-cycle engines, available in 0, 5, and 8 degree angles, providing a rigid structure to help keep vibration to a medium with fins underneath to help dissipate heat off the engine. Our 4-cycle EZ set is one of the most popular mounts for the Briggs & Stratton 206 power plant. Multiple mounting holes provide the most adjustability, depending on your chassis and seat placement. To ensure a tight fit to your chassis, ORP wedge clamps get the job done, featuring a number of updates to its design for a lower profile and lighter weight. The clamps are available from 28mm to 32mm in both standard and Euro sizes. Head to OdenthalRacing.com and find a dealer near you. Odenthal Racing Products, made in the USA. Cometic Gasket is a leading worldwide supplier of gaskets and engine sealing solutions for karting, automotive performance, power sports, original equipment, and the remanufactured engine industries. Cometic karting gaskets are available as OE replacement top-end kits or as individual gaskets and seals. Just like competitive karters, Cometic can operate on the fly and has the unique capability to customize any gasket to meet specific engine requirements and clearances. All of Cometic's fiber materials are asbestos-free and do not require any additional sealants. Viton oil ring cylinder head seals are used in each two-cycle kit, and Cometic's 4-cycle engine kits feature only the most advanced multi-layer steel head gaskets. Cometic can tailor to engine builder-specific needs through bulk ordering and packaging flexibility. Cometic gaskets are must-haves for championship-winning teams across multiple disciplines of both professional and amateur motorsports. Cometic Gasket, sealing championships since 1989. All right, folks, back here live in our new tent talk here from Ron White Racing, the CRG team on the West Coast. Ryan Martin joining us here right now. We already had some cat calls from Ronnie in the background because they're still working. He's ripping into Ryan. He actually gave you good props talking about the fact you working with the team, everything you do, and the development you've had. Give me your thoughts on these last couple of years. You've really stepped things up and put yourself into a place you can go for race wins now, which is great.
Yeah, no, I definitely it's come a long way. You know, I took a few years off racing
Yep.
and then got the opportunity to come racing again down here with Ron and the whole CRG deal and did the 2 years in the tag. And, you know, you can only run tags for so long.
You're ready to go shift the race.
Yeah, before you're like, all right, I want to go do something more fun, different, challenge myself. And Shifter was the right team, the right equipment. You know, we've been doing a lot of development work over the years with the product and with the motor program. And it's been really good. You know, last year was a great first year. Got our first win under the belt, which is a big thing to do in your first year, especially here at Sonoma with like Hunter Pickett and those guys. So, looking for more this year.
Well, let's talk about the start of the year because obviously we saw you guys at Tucson. We talked about the fact that they drop shipped equipment in there for you. You guys literally built go-karts at the racetrack. And you were involved in the development, right? This is what we want out of a kart. You and Ron and Kevin and everybody at the team. when you first started driving it, what were your thoughts? Because obviously it's practice day for the challenge. What were you thinking about the new chassis?
Right out the box, it was really good. I loved how much rear grip it had on entry, and especially at Tucson, a high-speed track, you want it to be stable. And I mean, our fifth session on the go-kart was qualified, and we put it third. I was running second heat. I kind of smoked the tires on Saturday. So I made a few changes. We're still figuring out the go-kart as we're going. And then Sunday, we're looking pretty good, and then just had some contact in the main, and that's racing. So
you were top 5, like you've been right there here. This is obviously a track you know really well. What are your thoughts on this weekend?
So far, so good. I kind of got put in a different situation than I wanted to be going into this weekend with having last weekend and kind of wrecking my stuff a little.
Oh, did you?
So I'm kind of on not necessarily the back foot, but just working with what I got and making changes every session, slowly getting closer and closer. I think we were pretty quick. We didn't put on rubber the second time we went out, like a lot of the other guys, or some guys came in and put them on when they went back out. And I think the track went a little bit quicker, but overall it's pretty good. I'm having a good time. So.
What do you feel like running with Ronnie out there? Like, he should be running the Masters class. We know that, right? But he's cherry picking down, trying to beat up on you guys. What does it feel like battling back and forth with your boss?
Well, it's been really good. Like this year, I've been a little bit quicker than him at the first 2 races. Maybe just didn't have the results to show it. But this weekend, he's on it. So it's been good looking at the data and going back and forth. Like, okay, we're better. I'm better here. He's better here. Kind of that's how it is with us. Maybe I'm better here and he's there, so we both get better. And that's usually how, like, on test days or practice days, we'll take one go-kart. One guy will go out, come in, and the other one will go right back out. And it's just a competition of going like this.
Really?
And seeing who's getting quicker.
We've done that before.
We've done that
before here.
We did.
We'll go to Dixon or Davis Kart Club and bang out 200 laps in a day, and it's just competition.
No, we didn't do that. No, we're when we're talking laps, we're talking maybe 20.
10, 15, 20 laps. Yeah,
so it's definitely a lot of fun. He took me out yesterday, so we'll see if that favor gets returned this weekend or not. But,
on a practice day?
Oh, he sent me.
What?
He locked up his brake, but it was a good time. We're all laughing at on the hill. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get back going now.
So what's for this weekend? What's your expectation for this weekend? Where do you want to see yourself in?
I'd like to be consistently in the top 3. Podium is obviously my main goal for this weekend, but if we walk away with a win, that'd be awesome.
And a guy like, obviously Hunter Pickett's a guy you expect, when we come here, we expect him to run for the win, but you beat him before.
Yes.
You have that in the back of your mind that you can get the job done.
Yes, he's really fast at this direction. Okay. I'm really good at the other direction.
Oh, really?
So when I won the race, we're going the opposite way. Okay. But I mean, this direction, he's really fast. So we just got to keep working our stuff, making it a little bit better, and keep going from there. Like, we made a change the second part of that run, which was a lot better, but obviously the window of the tires was gone. We'll see what we got tomorrow morning.
How much of the change throughout the day does the track go? Because today it was colder during the morning hour. Like, literally, we could see our own breath. Was it a big change from morning session to the afternoon?
For me, I didn't think it was necessarily a big change. I mean, I was making my stuff better all day. Sonoma is it's weird. It's one of those tracks, like, since we went to the Levanto rubber, that it just keeps putting the rubber down and down and down, almost like a proper race car track, I'd say. So the track literally only gets faster and faster and faster as, like, the weekend goes on. We saw that a lot last year, and as the season went on, the track every weekend was just getting faster and faster. So,
what about the transition with the new tic-tac-toe? Let's ask. We didn't ask Kevin that before, or Ron. What do you think about the new layout down there?
Well, I never actually ran this tic-tac-toe and shifter. I never had the opportunity to do it.
Oh, okay.
So for me, like, it's okay. I'm not a huge fan of the rebar, like, sausage curbs on the apex, because the first one, you don't hit it right, you definitely bend your stuff, like, basically instant. That happened to me last week. So you got to be, like, very precise with where you put the go-kart.
Okay.
I think if you hit it right, it's a lot easier on the equipment, but when you do hit it wrong, it is not a happy place to be.
All right. We asked Kevin the same question. You look down in 2022. What's your focus? What races are you going to be doing? What is there a race that you really want to get out there and win, or whatever it may be? Like, give me a kind of an overview of 2022 for you.
I think this year for me is kind of a transition year.
You're doing the cars,
I'm going into cars and stuff. So my focus is still to try and do really well in the karting. I want to try win the Senzaro Championship. Mm-hmm. I came second last year, my first year. So I guess my big goal for this year is to win that championship, and honestly do better in Vegas than I did last year. Going to Vegas in a shifter class is much different than going into a tag. And it's now that I've done it twice with the Rock Vegas and Supernats last year, I just kind of know what I'm going into more.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And, so I guess my biggest goal for this year is to win the Senzaro Championship and then go to Vegas and walk away with, like, a top 10 or top 5. If you can win it, that's awesome. But there's a lot of quick guys from the East Coast that don't come out here.
Tell us about the car team. What are you doing? What are you doing car-wise? Oval racing?
So I decided to go into the NASCAR route in North America to go, and you get a lot of opportunity going that route, and it's a lot easier for me to get sponsorship money. considering my program is fully self-funded.
Yep.
So basically, I did the second round of the Spears SRL late model series.
Okay.
It's a series that runs all over California.
Yep.
It's kind of the equivalent of like the Challenge of the Americas. It's the top late model series in Western United States. So I did the second race there, and considering a little bit of seat time in the car, it was pretty quick. So I got another one coming up in 2 weeks, and then which is a club race kind of deal, and then I'm going to continue that series.
Nice. Good man.
So
how do you feel the transition back and forth from the shifter to the late model?
It's funny. I got in the late model, and maybe just because I've been doing karting for so long and just kind of understanding how stuff works. The speed was pretty good off the bat. Biggest thing is learning suspension, but also like, you now got someone in your ear nonstop talking. So you got instant feedback like that, and now you got 22 other cars in a 3rd mile oval.
Yeah.
So it's definitely there's a wall.
There's a wall. That's it.
And the track we're going at isn't too fast, but like the ones we're going to in the future are going to be a lot faster.
Where you racing next?
The first one was in Roseville.
Yeah.
I'm going there again for
that's pretty flat, right? It's a flatter track. Right?
It's got a little bit of banking.
All
but
American. That's all American, right? Yeah.
Yeah, not crazy amount of banking. And then after that, we're going to be going down to Kern County. So that's a bigger half-mile oval.
Yeah, good stuff. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Ryan Martin, folks, another driver to watch here at Ron White Racing. Obviously, this program has really been this CRG program here for the West Coast. Ron's done such a great job bringing the young drivers into his program, getting guys like Ryan, David as well. There's just a lot of great guys here, and with the challenge, they're always racing for wins and championships.
Yeah, again, a number of different drivers in different categories racing for wins and championships. Obviously, they got Kevin Woods going for a 3rd straight championship in the Masters category. And then again, Ron and Ryan are going to be racing for the top spot in Rock Shifter as well. So yeah, a lot of good things here at Ron White Racing.
So if you're a CRG fan, you've watched it happen. We talked about Ron running for CRGs, winning that Super Nats back in 2002, running for the factory team and winning in the KZ2 category as well. Again, one of the legendary shifter kart drivers in North American karting for sure. 25 years plus. I remember the first time I ever met him, I was testing another kart brand at Dixon, and he was there. I think they had built an Invader shifter, 125cc Invader shifter, and they've done so. He's a road racer too, and he's a road racer.
Yeah, they've done late. I think he's done laydowns.
Probably done laydowns as well.
But superkarts, I know he's done that as well. When you did the World Superkart stuff at Laguna Seca.
Yeah.
So
if you give him if it's a wheel, Ron White will drive it.
Even 2 wheels. He loves motorcycles as well too. So
well, listen, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this edition of Tent Talk. It's been great to be here with Ron White Racing. Keep an eye out for what they're doing this year. The CRG product that they've helped develop over the last couple of years is really stepping up. We're seeing it on the East Coast. We're seeing it here on the West Coast. Obviously, the shifter's super fast. The tag kart's really good. David mentioned the Black Mirror. The cadet kart's fantastic, and Dave has been driving the FS4 4-cycle quite a bit as well. Great product line from CRG, and obviously a fantastic team here at Ron White Racing. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. On behalf of everybody here from Ron White Racing, David Cole, my name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.